I bet you didn't know that if you're starting or expanding a business in this country, you could call an office that will give you $5,000 worth of free consulting. That's right. They want to make sure that your business grows or even just gets off the ground. And they're very successful in it. There are offices all over the country that get subsidized by the federal government through the Department of Commerce and also their state governments, in all the states. So they're in every state, and they're called a Manufacturing Extension Partnership. It's almost like, we have the agriculture department to help farmers produce better. Now we have at the Department of Commerce, we have the same thing to help you make stuff better or for service. And these people have been very successful. I'll show you an interview I did with a fellow who runs the office in South Carolina. I mean, they go out and they charge, and see you get a free day. You get 24 hours. They come out and analyze, what maybe you should be doing better. And you can hire them to fix it, or you could call some, expensive consultant who's going to charge you 5 times as much to do it. But they've been so successful at doing this. I mean, they've taken small companies and go from one person in a garage to $34 million. Or they took another company and increased their web traffic by 300%. You see these gurus on the internet, are going to charge you tens of thousands of dollars, to do things like that. And that's why you have to at least know about these people and know this is an option. If you don't use them eventually, fine. But if you're looking for this kind of help, man, you got to check out the free stuff first. So listen to Joe explain their services. Ooh, one more thing I forgot. Besides giving you like 5,000 free evaluation of why you're not making more money, they also guarantee their work. Actually, what happens is after they do the work, and besides doing it at a lower price than anybody else could do because they got government money to do it, because they get government money, somebody else comes in and evaluates what they did to make sure you got your money's worth. Wow! That's a free inspector general. So watch this interview. Well, Joe Jacobs, man, great to meet you. But more importantly, it's great to find out about this terrific consulting business that the government's hiding from all these people. And it's called, and you're part of the South Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, right? And so you're like a private government partnership that helps manufacturing make more money. So how do you do it? I see you give away the free stuff too. You get a free consulting day from you guys.
Yeah. The main thing that we try to do is build relationships. It's all about doing the right thing. A lot of times with manufacturing anymore, people go in and they can't see the forest for the trees. Basically,
I got doctors that way too.
Yeah. My wife is one. I know about that. But we offer a free assessment that was actually developed in South Carolina. We're on about the fifth or sixth revision now. As we learn more, we incorporate into it. And it is basically a mile-high view of the systems of the company. And that's kind of an entry for us to get into the company.
I see. So you offer like a free one-day assessment of what's going on in the company, huh?
And the value of that is somewhere around $5,000. Right?
You're giving $5,000 of services for free.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's basically split up into 3 phases. The first phase is a questionnaire that the company can fill out on their own. It's about 28, 29 pages, 95%.
So they got to do some work, right?
Yeah, 95% yes, no questions. Either you got it or you don't.
Multiple choice.
The second phase, we actually go out, meet with the leadership team, and took about 3 hours.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
We validate.
Serious stuff you're doing. You're not just passing by for lunch. Huh?
No. I try to schedule them where lunch is not a part of it. We try to be out by lunch.
Yeah.
Sometimes companies will want to have something brought in.
See, right. And you waste your time.
Right.
And you waste your time.
But we stay and do whatever we need to do. But basically, we validate the survey. We have a lot of other questions we ask. And then we like to follow the process from order entry through shipping. And within 10 days, we'll come back and basically tell them what we thought we saw and what we thought we heard. And based on about 2,000 of these that we've done, we know what works and what don't. We'll give them 3, 4 recommendations at the most. If we were in their shoes, here's what we would do.
I see.
Kind of like the company I was telling you about that had the 100% turnover rate.
Right.
They had no idea in the world.
Why? Right.
Yeah.
So you be able to get the data from this 1 day of work and show them, hey, these are your potential problems you should work on first. I mean, everybody's got lots of problems, right? But these are the most immediate that would give you the best reward. So it's somebody from outside telling you, hey, this is what you should work on first to solve it. And then I guess you can do the work for them, or they could go somewhere else and get it done. Is that how it works?
If they got a problem, all they can do.
If they can do it cheaper than you, okay.
Yeah. Typically 9.2 out of every 10 that we do as an average.
Oh, really? So you get 90% of the work anyway. Well, I would think so, because if they go out to some big consulting company, they're going to charge them a lot more than you, because you're government subsidized in a way, and you don't have the fancy offices that I could see that some big hotshot consulting firm would have, right?
Yeah. And normally a lot of consulting firms are kind of like a hammer looking for a nail.
Oh, absolutely, man.
and they got one thing they're going to sell, and they're going to have a sales guy that's going to come in and do.
Oh, I didn't know you had dirty shoes. We got to clean those shoes too.
And yeah. And we go in behind some of these guys quite a bit, because they go in and the companies don't see the results that they should do. And what we try to do, we will walk away from a project.
Yeah, oh, good for you.
It's not the right thing to do, and the companies did it.
And that's the problem in our country with selling. Everybody wants to sell, and once you get involved with somebody selling something, then they're just trying to spend most of their life trying to sell you something more instead of fixing the problem they're here to solve.
Yeah. But the thing that we try to encourage companies is to get them on a path of sustainable, profitable growth.
But, I mean, what's neat about you have somebody that's independent of you that comes into the company months later to see how well you did and evaluate what the heck you did, and you're not doing the evaluation. So the company's getting a free evaluator because of you getting government money. That has to be done. The government wants to know.
Yeah.
Right. So the government wants to know this information, so your client really gets that free analysis of how well you did or not. By a third independent party who's not you.
Yeah. If it was me, it would be a lot higher. Because we understand what the improvements do. If you, well, a good example again is a turnover.
Right.
It's just a wonderful, but it's basically for manufacturing, but I see other things you do. I mean, you do hospitals, I guess, I don't know, so any kind of organization, big or small. How small of a company can you work with?
We've got one guy right now that was a one-man shop.
Oh, really? So you're working with one-man shop. So he's like making something in his garage, and you're coming in and helping him, huh?
It was a one-man shop 15 years ago, and he's a $34 million company right now.
Wow! So you helped him go from one man to $35 million, $34 million. Wow! Well, some of the other success stories I see that you have. You even launched startups. Help people on startup companies, and this company you helped, that they even failed like 3 or 4 times until they got to you, and then you made them success. And the hospital, it's sort of like, I was thinking more, just like a typical factory and tool and die or something like that. But the hospital, patient satisfaction is really what you worked on. I feel like you guys are somebody, a nice alternative to get that high value consulting work without some high-pressured huckster trying to get gazillions from you.
That's the thing about the web traffic that was increased. There are things that the customer has got to believe in, that if you structure your website properly, what's in it for me?
Yeah. Well, we all need help in thinking through problems. We all think we're smart as hell, but we're not. It's too complicated out there. And to have someone, but also with the motives. It seems like your organization and the similar organizations around the country, because there's one in every state, that the motives are different from the typical consulting firms that come out and beat you on the head for money. That your motive is really to create jobs for the country and help us develop as a nation, and nothing could be better than that. That's why your heart is. You're not getting 20% of everything. So the more you bring in, man, the more I'm gonna get. and that's so great. Pardon me?
For the money, and the people who work with them, they're the same way.
Yeah,
My sense of that is, if you're there and you're the senior VP of operations, so it goes downhill, and so the other people must be like you. And it's so nice to have you there, Joe, doing this work and helping the rest of us that are trying to compete in this world economy. So if you have a business or you're making something or have a little company, whether it's one man or 500 people, we could contact you and you'll do a free analysis for a day. And if you need work, you guys will do it probably better and cheaper than anybody else. If you want to go somewhere else, you can still come back and ask questions, right? And you guys are at, so it's South Carolina, scmep.org, right?
That's correct.
And that's how to find Joe. And if you want to play golf this weekend, you can ask him that too, because he's happy to play with you. Thanks for being there, Joe.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here.
See, the reason these offices are there are for us to compete better in the world. Because if your business does better in this country, then America does better in the world. We're all competing against one another. It's a flat world out there. So that's why this help is available. So start taking advantage of it. You're paying for it. They're free.